It is our ability just to be with the people and to live humbly among them. And may we continue to do that.
The Sisters of St. Joseph of the Diocese of Ogdensburg have been of service to Watertown and the Greater North Country since 1881. We visited the Mother House to learn how their mission has evolved over the past 143 years.
Our community of the Sisters of St. Joseph was founded in France in 1650. The first sisters to come to the United States came in 1836 to Carondelet and Cahokia. Those sisters came because they were invited by the bishop of the whole territory of Louisiana. Now, our sisters at Watertown were founded by Mother Margaret Mary Lacey, and she was a native of our diocese. Bishop Edgar P. Wadhams, who was the first bishop of the diocese, was asked by Father Joseph Durand, who was in Watertown, to send sisters to the parish because French-speaking children and families were giving up their faith. Bishop Wadhams was very hesitant. He wanted to be sure he knew what women were coming. So finally the bishop was encouraged to let Father Durand bring our nuns from Buffalo. 3 of them came on December 28, 1880. One of the problems was from the beginning, poverty. Nobody had money to pay them. They had no money to survive. And so what the sisters did was to give music lessons. And then they had what were called fairs or bazaars. The sisters still struggled. And Mother Margaret did all she could. In 1889, she decided that at an invitation from a priest in Kalamazoo, Michigan, that the first sisters should leave Watertown and go to Kalamazoo. So in 1889, Mother Margaret and 9 other sisters left and went to found Kalamazoo. Left here were only a few sisters.
After Mother Margaret took her leave of the original Watertown Mother House on Main Street in 1889, the few sisters that remained grew in numbers over the subsequent 87 years, culminating in their move to the former St. Patrick's Children's Home on Washington Street in 1976.
As I understand it, the sisters leaving the old Mother House, there's always some stress when you go to a new place. What's it going to be like? How am I going to survive? We especially hated to leave the beautiful chapel we had in our Mother House. When the chapel was made here, we brought over to our chapel the stained glass windows, and they were fashioned into the big chapel that we have. We brought over the marble for the altars, the tabernacles, and also the beautiful statues we have there of Mary and Joseph, the Stations of the Cross, and even the wood that you see all around our chapel.
After 48 years at the Washington Street Mother House, the Sisters of St. Joseph are preparing to say goodbye to their home and to their chapel, as the evolution of their mission finds them taking up residence in several new locations.
The sisters have obtained a house on Outer Ives Street, which will hold 5 of our sisters. Another little house in Calcium, which will hold 3. And the administration and a group of 4 will go to the former rectory of St. Anthony's, which is being renovated. Throughout the country, the Sisters of St. Joseph have been involved in hospital work as well as social work. They've been involved in ecology. And now with the climate changes and all, they become more involved in what do we do with God's creation. And so I would say the Dear Neighbor has expanded from just being people to the whole world.
To be in union with the dear neighbor is a fundamental spiritual principle for the Sisters of St. Joseph, and that tenet has guided their works and deeds since their inception.
And the mission, as John Peter Medaya outlined it for us, was that love of that dear neighbor, and it was always an all-inclusive love. Nobody gets left out. Constantly we are being called to work among the dear neighbor for reconciliation so that all can live in peace and harmony together and know the Father's love for them. And so John Peter Medaya, working on that model, started his first Sisters of St. Joseph. And he was adamant that we weren't going to sit behind closed doors in a convent. He wanted us out on the streets, and he wanted us among the dear neighbor. So that's what we have done. And so our mission is so broad, it could almost include anything a human person might need, physical or spiritual. We think we've gathered a lot of wisdom over the years. We have a lot of experience. I think we have a lot that we can share. So we're looking forward to our new journey. It's exciting. I think we're all going to find new life and new ways of where we're going to live the mission, just as our first sisters lived it. We want the people of Watertown to know that that's why we came 143 years ago, and that's why we're here today, and we'll be here tomorrow.
From the Sisters of St. Joseph Mother House in Watertown, New York, for WPBS Weekly, I'm Guy Carlo.